Namaste, everyone. Hi, my name is Angeline, and welcome to my channel. We're going to be doing a yin practice today. Today is December 31st, 2020, the end of the worst year ever, right? And we're going into the new year, and I just wanted to do a practice that works on opening up the chest area, which is connected to the heart chakra, just to maybe help us be more loving and receptive of love in our lives. I feel that this time has brought an awareness of how important it really is to cultivate that feeling of love and understanding, with so many people losing so much and still trying to go about their lives and their day as if nothing is the matter or nothing is going on will wear on an individual. So this practice for me, I put together just to be able to not only have the capacity to be loving and compassionate towards another, but to be loving and compassionate towards yourself. Sometimes we forget when we are so focused on achieving or accomplishing or just surviving sometimes things in our lives, we forget that we're not in it alone, and we are a lot of other people around us are on the same journey. Without taking too much more time, I want to go ahead and get started in our practice, and I want us to just as we work today, the mantra that I picked was, I am letting go of all that no longer serves me. And this is not about a judgment call and a punishment. It's about what really refining how the things in your life make you feel, and how the way you think makes you feel, and really owning that and not allowing yourself to be swept up into emotions or situations that don't make you feel good, that don't in essence serve you. So let's go ahead and start with closing our eyes. You can sit in a simple cross-legged seated position, or you can sit in hero's pose, whichever feels most comfortable for you. But we're just going to take this time to come to our practice, to come to the mat. We're going to start breathing in through our nose, filling up our belly and our chest, lifting those collarbones, and then exhale everything out. Again, fill up the belly, the chest, lifting the collarbones. And exhale everything out. We really just want to let everything go. Again, breathe in through your nose. Exhale everything out. Maybe let that exhale be a little longer. When you take nice deep breaths like this and let the exhale be a little longer, you're working to engage the parasympathetic nervous system. That's where all of our healing occurs, like on a physical, emotional, mental, spiritual level. We really just want to disengage from the fight or flight aspect of our nervous system when we're thinking too much, or we're worrying, or we're have too many things we need to take care of that's demanding of our time and our energy. We tend to turn on that fight or flight response. The adrenaline is flowing, cortisol is being released into our system. There's a stress response, and it's okay if you are only doing that for like 5 minutes or something. But when you are carrying yourself through your days and you're we're doing this day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, it just really destroys our bodies. And so we really want to focus on releasing and decompressing and engaging in that parasympathetic nervous system, where we can really feel that sensation of calm and ease. In our practice today, you only really need a blanket. Have 2 blocks nearby. You can also have a bolster if you want for extra support. Let's go ahead and chant the mantra Om one time together. Inhale nice and deep. Just calling that energy to us to help clear out any negative energy, any disturbing thoughts, emotions. Let's gently open our eyes, and we're going to come into our first pose. So go ahead and grab your blocks. We're going to come into a supported fish. So here you want to take 1 block and go ahead and set it up long ways. And this is going to go right in between your shoulder blades. Maybe having the bottom edge of the scapula meeting this front ledge of this block. This block is just going to be underneath your head. And we're just going to sit with our knees, with the bottoms of our feet coming together. So just shift that block where you need it to go. And then the same with the block up for your head. We're going to be here about 3 minutes. You can bring your hands down to your side. Let those shoulder blades drop back towards the floor. You just want to feel the spine fully supported. And again, we're going to do that 3-part breath where you breathe in through your nose, filling up the belly, the chest, and lifting the collarbones. You can exhale everything out through the mouth. Again, when we reverse the curve of our upper back, opening the heart chakra, it creates the sense of being vulnerable and receptive to the world around us, to the people we share our space with. If you find yourself uncomfortable in this position, in certain situations, or around certain people, you want to evaluate that and maybe give it some thought as to why you respond in that way. And it could be because those people or the situation's not the best for you, or it could also be you are bringing past thoughts and emotions into your current situation, and you're reacting to that current situation with those same feelings and emotions from something from your past, and you're projecting that onto the situation. So you really want to be aware and mindful of how thinking and how you're carrying yourself in your present moment. And a lot of times I like to think of it as allowing your spirit to kind of come to the answer and not jump to a conclusion. We're going to slowly bring those knees toward one another. Go ahead and straighten those legs out. To come up off your block, you want to tuck your chin to your chest, take your hands, and then just press yourself back up. And then we can just do a couple of seated cat-cows where you inhale, bring your chest out and up. Exhale, round your back. Inhale, lift, dropping the head back. Exhale, round, dropping the head forward. 2 more times. Just see if you can get any movement in that upper spine. You might feel some crunchies. That is totally and completely normal. And I would say welcomed. We're going to come down into a bridge pose. So here you can keep your block flat or you can have it straight up and down like this. You're going to decide how you need it for yourself. When you place it underneath your sacrum, you want the top ledge of the block to meet the top ledge of your sacrum. I'm having like some nice Charlie horses going on right now in my hamstrings. So I'm just going to lift my legs up, kind of release some tension and pressure out of those legs. You can flex and point your toes. In your practice, you are allowed to make any movement or stay as still as you want to be. And when you're ready, if you had your feet up, you just want to bring those feet back down. And then we're just going to walk those legs straight. And we're going to be here actually two minutes. So feel a nice opening in the front of your hips. Feeling a little stretch in the belly. You can lift those hands up overhead. Again, engaging in that nice deep inhale and exhale, letting that exhale be a little bit longer. A lot of times I have clients who are so tight and so tense that after one session they're kind of shocked and upset that they're not any looser or that tension has not been released out of their body. But there's times when we're chronic in our holding of tension, and I feel what it seems like to me that why people do that is because it serves to kind of propel them forward. They feel like if they just hang in there a little bit more, or if they push a little bit harder, they're going to get to that next level. And that can be true. But then there's times when if you've been pushing and pushing and pushing, and you're starting to like not get anywhere anymore, it's time to rest. It's time to stop what you're doing and relax. You will build back up your momentum. You will be able to accomplish things again. But I think sometimes people feel like once they get started, it's really hard for them to stop because they're afraid they won't be able to start back up again. So we're going to take that block out from underneath your hips. Bring those knees together, feet wide. You can bring your hands onto your belly, and we're just going to take about 2 breaths here. Breathing in through your nose. Exhale everything out. One more time. Inhale through your nose. We're going to lift ourselves up, and then we're going to come onto our hands and knees for a melting heart pose. So we're going to do this for 4 minutes. You're more than welcome to keep both arms forward. If that does not work for you, then we're just going to do one arm forward and one arm going across our mat. Sorry, I have hiccups all of a sudden. So to start off, you want to keep the hips over the knees. Walk those hands out forward. We'll do 2 minutes because we're going to do 2 minutes each side. We're going to take the right hand. We're going to bend that elbow, and you want it perpendicular with the top of your mat. Bring the head down towards the mat, and you can rest it right on that forearm. The left arm is going to go straight up. If that feels like you're pinching in the shoulder, walk that arm out to the side. And you want to feel the belly and the chest drop towards the floor. And again, we're just going to be here 2 minutes. Remember to always breathe in through your nose. You can exhale through the mouth, or you can exhale through your nose. Also remember, we're only going to where we just start to feel sensation in the pose, because we are not trying to go to our full max in Yin, because we hold these poses for anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes. We only go to where we start to feel sensation because we're going to be here for a minute, and that longer time helps us stress our connective tissue, the fascia, ligaments, and tendons. And if we were to go to the full max for that amount of time, we could actually injure ourselves or overstress our bodies. We just want to find a place where our body gently starts to open and release and allows that tension to be removed from the tissues. We're going to walk that left hand back, push yourself back up, and we're going to do a few cat-cows here. So those hands are going to be under the shoulders. Inhale, dropping the belly down, lifting the tailbone and head up. Exhale, round and arch the upper back, bringing the head and tailbone toward one another. Inhale, reverse. Exhale. And if you can, try to match your movement with the breath. So your inhale moving, tailbone and head up. And then exhale, moving tail and head bone down, arching that upper back. And then we're going to just do the other side. So we're going to take the arms forward, cross that left hand, or left arm across the mat. That right arm can go straight up or out to a little bit, to the side a little bit if you feel pinching in the shoulders. Just going to be here 2 minutes. Anytime you feel tingling in your fingers or your arms, you might be compressing a nerve and you want to stop that immediately. Because if you hold this for a while and you have that tingling going on, you can be damaging some structures, some tissue. So yoga is not a practice where you grin and bear it. This is, you definitely find your happy place in the asana, and then we're going to hold that for a few minutes. We're going to come back up and do a couple cat-cows. And the next pose we're going to come into is a butterfly pose. So I like to use my blanket. It helps to give me a little tilt to my pelvis. Bring the front of the sit bones right on that front ledge of the blanket. You can have your feet in as close to your pubic bone as you want or as far away. Typically, in butterfly, you want like a diamond shape with your legs. But if you want to really work the inner meridians, which are liver and kidney, or you can work the outer meridians, which are gallbladder. If you take your feet further out, maybe to get all of them, that's why we do the diamond shape. So we're going to be here 2 minutes. So here as well, you can use a block if you want to bring your head down onto that block, because again, we're not going all the way down. As far as we can, we do want our elbows in front of the shins. We're just about there. Remembering to always breathe in through your nose and out through the nose. if you ever wake up in the morning and you feel like I need to do some kind of yoga, but you don't have a lot of time, if you just set up into a butterfly pose for about 5 minutes, you would be serving yourself very well. We're going to lift our heads up, move that block out, and we're going to lean back onto our hands, bend those knees, bringing the feet to the floor. We're just going to do a couple of windshield wipers here. So this isn't going to be a very long practice tonight. It's just moving some energy through our body, trying to work out some old stagnant energy from 2020 to really release that. We're going to come into deer pose. Now deer pose, I notice I have a little moth, so you guys might see him on the camera. Deer pose, you want to take the right foot and you're going to bring it towards the right glute. The left foot you can take out as far as you want or as close to the pubic bone as you want. We're going to be here 2 minutes. You can use your block if you need to kind of bring your body back to the center. Sometimes I like to close my eyes to tune out any distractions. So really kind of feel what I'm experiencing in my body as I'm in the asana. One thing that's really kind of came up to me, or came up for me in the year 2020 is I realized that I handle a lot of situations kind of by the seat of my pants. Like I'm in it, I got to deal with it, and I go through it and I do the best I can, and I usually come out on the other end okay. But my focus this year has shifted onto being more deliberate about what it is I want in my life and what it is I'm working to create, and how that being like that doesn't always serve me as well, because actually what I've realized, as how I would put it, is as well as I'm able to manage through situations like that, and there's a certain kind of strength that comes with that, I'm not as strong as I would like to be, or that I can be, because I don't apply myself the way I would really, that I would benefit if I did, by being more deliberate in my actions. So we're going to come out of this pose. So taking that left hand and leaning over, unwrapping that right foot, bringing the 2 feet together, and just kind of flapping the little butterfly wings. We're going to lean over to the right, bring that left foot back, and here you're definitely going to notice that each side of your body is different, and that's okay. We're going to take that block, and then we're going to set up for this other side, 2 minutes. Take that left hand in front, right hand on the side, and again, you're just going to try to shift the upper body down the center. So there's times when I want to do things and I feel like there's no reason why I can't, because I manage very well in my life, and I kind of underestimate the demand sometimes of the things I want to do, of the demand of not only energy, time, but like experience, information that I need to have. And I get frustrated because I feel like I'm not prepared, or I'm not ready, even though I want to do it. and I want to make myself feel ready. I'm learning that when you really want to accomplish something, when you set a goal for yourself and you want to create a reality for yourself, you will stay dedicated to that goal. You will stay focused to that goal. And even when you feel like you're not getting anywhere, because some days it feels like no progress is being made. You're doing the same stuff, you're doing the work to make this thing happen, but for whatever reason, you don't feel the shift, you don't feel the situation changing, or you don't feel the goal coming closer. You feel that it's actually further away. That is where I'm at currently in my life. And if anyone else is feeling that, please leave me a comment in the comments, because I would like to talk about that more with anyone who's interested. Because I think it's something, it's very interesting how that kind of affects us. We're going to come into straddle. So before I go on, again, you want to take the sit bones, you want to place them right on that front ledge of your blanket. That way you have a little pelvic tilt. So take your legs as far as you can and bring them in about an inch. That way, again, we're not going to that full max. You don't want to feel this so intensely. We're going to do 2 minutes over each leg and then 2 minutes down the middle. So you're going to inhale and lift, exhale, twist to the right, and then walk over that right leg. And just come down to where you can. And remember, in our Yin practice, we're allowed to round our backs. So, with what I was talking about, like just how important it is to be mindful or aware of how when you set out to do something, if you're not able to do it immediately or instantaneously, to keep that motivation, to keep that focus, to keep that drive towards the goal until it's accomplished, how much effort that really demands from you. And when you're slacking or lacking that effort, looking at why and looking at how we make up excuses, or how the excuses, I would say excuses, like give ourselves an out. I would say I'm pretty famous for that. I always am able to find a reason for, if we need to take a break, to just take a break. But sometimes if you want something and you're not getting close to that goal, you have to keep working. You have to keep the effort going. You can't take a break. You can't get lazy with it. And that's something I've realized with myself this year. We're going to come up, take a nice inhale, exhale. One more inhale, lift through the spine. Exhale, twist, and then exhale again, going down over that leg. So this was like I guess one of those rude awakenings for myself, where I realized, like, as productive and much as I work and enjoy working and helping others and doing things, when it comes to my personal goals, I believe it's a self-sabotage kind of thing, where I can find very valid reasons why today I just need to rest, or today is an off day, today is, a break. But I see how that keeps me from getting closer to my goal. And so that's something I need to change and switch up. So again, if anyone else experiences that or has any wisdom they like to share on how to deal with that, I'd be more than open and happy to hear it. Again, for me, why I came up with this practice is I feel like there's aspect of being able to love myself enough to feel worthy enough to accomplish the things I want to accomplish. And it's also something with doing it for myself and being able to be proud of that. I feel like if I'm in a group effort, I feel like I'm able to produce more because I want to make the people I am working with proud of me or happy, or to make their life easier. And I kind of forget, like, I should be doing that for myself. So again, sharing this to help others who may be feeling these same ways. We're going to inhale, lift up through the spine. Exhale, walk those hands forward, and we're just going to fold forward. So I'm going into 2021 with the intentions to stay focused, to apply myself at least 10 to 20% more, not trying to go crazy, overdo it, to burn myself out, and work with that new level of application, of applying myself, and allow myself to get used to that and to feel that, and to be more proud of myself, to own my power, to own my accomplishments, to own all the good that I put out there, not to dismiss it or kind of, sometimes I think I like to write it up or write it off as like a fluke. Like, I don't even know how I did that, but I do. I apply myself. I know things and I do things, but a lot of times I don't give myself the credit I deserve. So I'm definitely going to be working on that for 2021. And all these things that I'm sharing with you, I'm doing that to show you that those things that you feel or think about all day long, how they honestly affect you. And when you go to do something, how it can undermine you if you're not careful. And so this is something that I became very super aware of within 2020, and definitely feel like it's worth mentioning because I'm sure I'm not the only person that has that experience with, I would say, like, denial. Like, there's a part of me that has a certain level of denial about aspects of myself that I'm not proud of or fond of. We're going to do twisted roots. So I want you to bend your knees, press your feet into the floor, shift your hips to the left, take that left foot, cross it over the right. If you can wrap your foot around that leg, go ahead and do so, but if not, just take it over as far as you can. Inhale. Exhale, drop your knees to the right. Lift your head, exhale, and look over that left arm. And we're just going to be here, we're actually going to be here 3 minutes. Get a nice twist. Just trying to find any of spaces in our bodies, in our meridians, that's maybe congested or or depleted. And as we hold our asanas, we're affecting that energy and how it flows through those meridians and how it flows through our body. And when we come out, we want to feel that line of energy open and flowing. When our chi is unobstructed, then things in our life tend to flow better. We're more connected to our true self. We're able to kind of intuitively know what it is that we need to do and what we need to know when we need to know it. When you're stagnant, congested energetically, when you're bombarded by other people's energies and you're not doing the work to kind of clear that off and become super attuned to who you are and what you need and want, that keeps us from moving forward in our life as well. It keeps us stuck, keeps us kind of repressed in a way and oppressed. Anytime someone else's stuff is more important than yours, you're allowing yourself to be oppressed. You need to, not that you need to, but you want to be more mindful of your goals and aspirations and what you need to do to make yourself happy and what you need to do to make yourself feel good, without feeling like you're showing someone up or punishing someone because they're not able to do it right. Again, speaking from some of my own personal stuff that that's come to surface for me, I realize I've lived a life where I don't feel that the people around me were capable of loving me enough or taking care of me enough, and I would overextend myself to kind of show them what I felt like I needed. But again, this is like creating a reality that is not serving anyone. So we're going to come out of this pose. So engage your core, bring those knees back to the center, uncross your legs. We're going to bring those knees together, walk the feet wide. Just take a few breaths here. Feel that energy shifting through your body. And we're going to switch to the other side. So we're going to bend our knees, press through our feet, shifting the hips to the right. You can walk that left foot over a little bit towards the right. Cross the right leg over the left. Inhale, your arms are out into that T shape. And then exhale, dropping the knees down towards the left. We're going to lift the head and look over that right hand. We're just going to be here 3 minutes. I try not to be long-winded while we're doing our pose, because I know sometimes we like to just be in that silence. But I definitely feel there's a significance in sharing what we experience sometimes with others. You never know if somebody else is having the same experience and needs guidance, or needs to know that they're not alone, that they're not, or that it's not all in their head. this is our last asana for this practice tonight. If you feel like you still have some areas that are tight, any of the poses that we did tonight, you can always do just by themselves for a couple minutes. Just remember, when you come out of your pose, you want to do a counter pose to kind of let the energy shift or reshift, your blood flow again and move through the tissue. Just about there. Kind of bring our head back to the center, engage your core, lift those knees back to the middle, uncross your legs, bring the knees together, feet wide, hands down by your sides. I'm just going to take a few breaths here. We're going to set up for our Shavasana. So if you want to stay here, you can maybe tuck those shoulder blades toward one another and slide them down your back. Or you can straighten the legs out, reaching through the heels. Release your legs. Let everything release into the floor. Feeling the support of the ground against your back, against your legs, against your arms and your head. You're fully supported. You can let everything go right now. Coming back to that mantra, I am letting go of all that no longer serves me. We're just going to be here for a couple minutes. Realize the power of your own thoughts. If you were to become aware of only one mental dynamic, the most important one to know about would be the relationship between your thinking and the way you feel. It's important to realize that you are constantly thinking. Don't be fooled into believing that you already are aware of this fact. Think for a moment about your breathing. Until this moment, when you were reading this sentence, you had certainly lost sight of the fact that you were doing it. The truth is, unless you are out of breath, you simply forget it's occurring. Thinking works in the same way. Because you're always doing it, it's easy to forget that it's happening, and it becomes invisible to you. Unlike breathing, however, forgetting that you are thinking can cause some serious problems in your life, such as unhappiness, anger, inner conflict, and stress. The reason this is true is that your thinking will always come back to you as a feeling. There is a point-to-point relationship. Try getting angry without first having angry thoughts. Okay, try feeling stressed without first having stressful thoughts. or sad without having sad thoughts, or jealous without thoughts of jealousy. You can't do it. It's impossible. The truth is, in order to experience a feeling, you must first have a thought that produces that feeling. Unhappiness doesn't and can't exist on its own. Unhappiness is the feeling that accompanies negative thinking about your life. In the absence of that thinking, the unhappiness or stress or jealousy can't exist. There is nothing to hold your negative feelings in place other than your own thinking. The next time you're feeling upset, notice your thinking. It will be negative. Remind yourself that it's your thinking that is negative, not your life. This simple awareness will be the first step in putting you back on the path towards happiness. It takes practice, but you can get to the point where you treat your negative thoughts in much the same way you would treat flies at a picnic. You shoo them away and you get on with your day. Allowing yourself to not indulge in a negative thinking is a wonderful way of kind of dealing with the things I was talking about earlier. Just having these thoughts of doing this later, or not being able to do it now, and it's too much work, it's too hard, it all stops me from doing what I need to do. And if I could, instead of letting those thoughts occur in my head quietly, even if I'm not actively realizing they're back there and they go on, I realize how much they go on. And that's the awareness that's been created for me in 2020, is to really, the moment I catch myself having a negative thought, I have to decide that that thought is not serving me, and that in order to be served better, I must replace that thought with a more positive thought. Or maybe no thought at all. Maybe just doing something that makes me feel good, and that makes me feel accomplished, and it makes me feel that I'm moving towards the direction I want to be going. So as we contemplate these concepts, let's start to bring our awareness back into our body by wiggling our fingers and our toes, taking a nice deep inhale, reaching our hands overhead, stretching throughout the length of our body. And then we want to roll over to whichever side feels best for you. And we're going to take a few moments here to breathe. Breathing in and out. Imagine breathing in nice, bright yellow or golden light. And then exhaling smoke, that cloudy, dusty, dirty energy, those thought forms that no longer serve us. Again, breathe in nice, clean, bright golden light, and exhale any energies that no longer serve us. One last time, breathing in fresh, clean light, exhaling everything out. We'll slowly push ourselves back up into a seated position. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Peace and namaste. Thank you for doing this practice with me today, and thank you for listening to me, for those of you who did. And again, please share any comments that you have. You can leave me a message, I believe. You can go to my Facebook, Angeline Moreland, LMT, and maybe we can discuss these ideas more. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel, and enjoy the rest of your evening, and have a happy, healthy new year. Namaste.